What's going on, soccer fans? My name is Connor, and welcome back to another full-time show. And today, I'm excited to bring you the second ever Leagues Cup champions. That's right, Leagues Cup is staying in MLS, and that is Columbus 3, LAFC 1 in the 2024 Leagues Cup final. To get things started, let's go ahead and get in the goals from last night. Starting us off, Cucho Hernandez in the 45th minute. That goal will be scored going into halftime. Columbus have a 1-0 lead. Then Oliver Giroud in the 57th minute to tie at 1-1. Then Cucho again in the 90th plus 2. 2-1 Columbus. 2 minutes later, Jason Russell-Rowe puts the nail in the coffin for LAFC, making it 3-1, and that's the way it will go to full time. Going to lineups here, Columbus played a 3-4-2-1. They started with Hagen in goal, which was the surprise of the night. A back three of Amundsen, Camacho, and Morera. Then a midfield four of Arston, Dagby, Zawoski. Farsi, your supporting your supporting midfielders here, Rossi and Ramirez. Cucho as the lone striker up top. Cucho did have himself a day, 2 goals and an assist with a 9.3 rating on FootMob. He was the FootMob voted player of the match. Then for LAFC, they went with the back three of Lloris, Morello, Chanot, Long. Then they had Palencia, Sanchez, Augusta, I don't know how you say it. Then they have a front three of Belonga, Giroud, and Bogusz. Danny Belonga, as you can see here, he has this rating of 6.7. My man was pocketed by Steven Moreira for the third straight game in a row between LAFC and Columbus. Belonga was pocketed in the MLS Cup game last year. Again, he did get that consolation goal for LAFC, but in the matchup in June, Moreira pocketed Belonga again, and last night Belonga did absolutely nothing. He had a few good chances, but there was times when Moreira was all over him like a dog on a bone. And let's take a look at the substitutions for each squad. Jason Russell-Rowe coming in the 74th minute for Columbus. Treberco coming in the 75th. Duan Jones in the 84th and Alex Matan in the 84th. I forgot to mention on Cucho's second goal, Matan was credited with the assist there. And for Steve Cherundolo losing his third straight final in a year in Europe and South America, that would be enough to get sacked as manager. Why LAFC continues to employ Steve Cherundolo, that is a mystery that even the top scientist in the world can't even figure out. But I think his substitutions were not good. They were made at best. Lewis O'Brien on loan from Nottingham Forest. The man has been everywhere. I believe he spent the first half of last season on loan with the end of the 22 and part of the 23 season on loan with DC United. Then he went back to Nottingham Forest. And then I believe for the second half of the English season, he was on loan with Millwall, I believe. And now he's back in MLS on loan with LAFC. I'm really surprised Forest decided to keep him on their books instead of selling him because his performances have not been good. They've been not good for LAFC. I think O'Brien's a better sub, a better starter. I think LA has more success when he starts other than when he comes off the bench. Then they got Eddie Segura, who should have came on at halftime, did nothing. Timothy Tillman did nothing, came on in the 63rd minute. Christian Aguilera came on, maybe had one or two half chances. Other than that, he did nothing. And then Kai Kamara, he was arguably the most dangerous center forward that LAFC had last night. There wasn't. He had like one good chance, almost to send it to penalties, but you can tell after that second Cucho goal that LA was just deflated, and these were the unused subs for each team. Patrick Schulte didn't get the start. Hagen played all 90 plus 5 minutes. Herrera, the loanee from River Plate, didn't play. Yeboah didn't play. Jackson didn't play. Derek Jones didn't play. Shambos didn't play. And Hepburn didn't play. Ochoa, Hazel, Campos, Dunes, Musto, Martinez, and Ordaz didn't play for LA. Let's go ahead and take a look at the stats here. So these are the top stats for the whole game. As you can see, 62% possession for Columbus compared to only 38% possession for LAFC. It looked like LA was just they were comfortable with giving Columbus the ball and letting them have the ball, because it almost looked like they were sitting in sort of a low block where they had everybody, all 10 field players back in their own half, including their forward players like the Girouds, like the Belangas, like the Boguches. They were all kind of sitting in like this stagnant defense where they were playing kind of like a basketball man-to-man stick on defense, and they sat in that low block, and it worked very, very well for them in the second half. But Columbus, at the death, found a way to break that low block, especially with the big break chance at the end of the game that Cucho had. He laid it off to Russell Rowe, who put the nail in the coffin. This total shots, no surprise here. Columbus 12, LAFC 9, 5 shots on target to 4. The most memorable moment from last night, besides Cucho's goal, was Nick Hagen coming off his line. Belanga's bearing down on goal. Hagen's coming off his line, and I'm watching this game last night, and I'm thinking, fuck, this man is coming off his line, and he's going to get burnt, and it's going to be 2-2, and LA's going to score, because I can count on both hands and feet how many times Nick Hagen has came off his line and it led to an opposition goal in the games that he has started in MLS play. But somehow he just comes clear off his lines, gets right in the face of Denny Belonga, and just makes himself big. You know how they tell you to, if you're ever encountered by a bear, just make yourself as big as possible. That's what Hagen did, and Belonga went to shoot, and it hit him right off the chest, like around the stomach and chest area. Went out for a corner. Columbus had 3 big chances. LA has 1. Really, the only big chance that LA had was the Belonga chance, what I just talked about, Hagen coming off his line, making himself big. When we look at accurate passes, 411 accurate passes for Columbus. That's a passing accuracy of 86%. Then when we look at accurate passes for LA, that's 210 with a passing accuracy of 72%. Don't know why, but LA just looked off the beat a little bit. Now, fouls committed. This is where a lot of people were upset with the official, Oshai Nation, who's one of the more questionable CONCACAF referees in the region. Again, this was not an MLS ran sanctioned tournament. This was a CONCACAF sanctioned tournament, so they did use CONCACAF officials, both who are in MLS and from elsewhere. So 20 fouls. 20 fouls to 8. I believe if we go... Yeah, so when we look at the discipline here, two yellow cards for 20 fouls on LAFC. Let that sink in for a minute. Two cards for 20 fouls. That is fucking insane. There should have been a couple more cards given to LA, but again, Oshai Nation said, nah, bro, we ain't going to play that way. He did give a yellow card to Rudy Camacho in the 10th minute, 10th and 11th minute, somewhere around there, where, in my opinion, it wasn't a yellow card. Both players were going for the ball. I believe Rudy made contact with the ball first and then fell through with the attacking LA player, gets a yellow card. I don't know how that's a yellow card. I mean, at best, that's a foul, but it was like one of those calls where it's like, what the fuck, man? You could have left that alone. In my opinion, it was a clean challenge, but in the opinion of the referee, which is the only person on the field whose opinion matters, it's the referee. He called it a yellow. He showed a yellow for that. Again, don't understand how that was a yellow, but fuck it, we move. When we go into the shots category, again, like I said, Columbus had 12. LA had 9. 4 shots off target. That's a little harsh because I feel like those shots off target could be big chances, but I believe we had 3 block shots. We had 3 block shots, which I guess can kind of attain to those shots off target because they were blocked. I really didn't see us missing the target a whole lot last night. But again, I could be wrong. LA only had 1 shot off target. Shots on target, Columbus had 5. LA had 4. Again, these two teams are very attacking minded. Toronto and Nancy like to play attacking football. There's really no surprise there. No shots hit the woodwork, which again surprised me. I think at least 1 or 2 for Columbus and LA hit the woodwork. Shots inside the box, Columbus had 8. LA had 6 shots outside the box. Columbus 4, LA 3. I thought the only real shot outside the box I remember is Cucho's goal. Shot that was blocked by Darlington Nagbe. And that's all I can really remember. When we move on to the passing side of things, this is where you stat sickos get really excited. 470 passes to 292 passes, 86% pass accuracy to 72% pass accuracy. We already did that. Passes in the own half, 179 passes in Columbus's own half. And I think a lot of those take place around the final third because like a lot of teams like to do, especially Columbus and Wolf Nancy's system, and we've seen this over the past year, is when you build out the back, you tend to have passes in your own half and inside your 18-yard box. Now, this really surprised me. Columbus had 232 passes in LA's half. And LA only had 91 passes in Columbus's half. Accurate long balls. No surprise here, really. 14 accurate long balls for Columbus, which is 41%. Again, our long ball king was Aiden Morris. He's not here anymore. He's now a regular starter for Middlesbrough in the EFL Championship. 34 accurate long balls for LA, 52% for them. Accurate crosses, 3 accurate crosses, 25% accurate cross rating. 2 accurate crosses for LA. That's a 29% accurate cross rating. 16 throws for each team. Touches in opposition box, 21 for Columbus, 16 for LA, and 2 offsides to 1. Again, the last stats we're going to touch on before I bore you guys to death is the defense. Columbus won 6 tackles. That's a percentage of 68%. With a successful percentage of 86%. LA won 7 tackles with a success percentage of 50%. 8 interceptions to 9, 4 blocks to 3, 14 clearances to 17, 3 saves for Hagen, 2 for Lloris. Then we go to duels. 42 total duels won for Columbus, 36 total duels won for LA, 31 ground duels won with a 57% success rate. For Columbus, 23 ground duels won for LAFC with a success rate of 43%. Columbus won 11 aerial duels with a success rate of 46%. LA won aerial duels with a success rate of 54%. Then successful dribbles, 4 for Columbus. That's a success rate of 31%, and 3 for LA. That is a success rate of 33%. And then here you can see the ratings. It just breaks down the stats. Nothing much to go there. I'm not going to bore you guys to death with that. But overall, I think Columbus played into their game. It was a sold-out crowd. The energy was there. You know what I mean? Even though I didn't have the audio during my watch-along, it's just you could feel the energy inside lower.com field. And I think, the players have said it multiple times. You've had opposing coaches say it multiple times. The atmosphere is there. You can feel the energy in the air. Even, like for me, I'm 600 miles away in North Carolina, and I could still feel the energy at lower.com field week in and week out when this team plays at home. It's a home field advantage that I think nobody else in Major League Soccer has. There's just something special about lower.com field. Ever since it opened in 2021, it's just like, Historic Crew Stadium has the historic value of being the first ever soccer-specific stadium in the U.S., but it just doesn't come to near as the aura that lower.com has. And as long as we're successful and letting the good times roll, there's just something there. We secured a round of 16 berth into CONCACAF Champions Cup next year, so yay. The only thing left to do now is go ahead and go out and win Campeones Cup against Liga MX champions Club America. And then after the Club America game, I believe there's like another month and a half of regular season play. Let's go win another MLS Cup, guys. Let's fucking win another cup. Let's repeat. Let's fucking repeat. Let's go. I'm not really worried about the Supporters Shield or the Supporters Plate, as I call it, and some fans call it online. We can let LAFC and Miami and Cincinnati, they can fight over for a plate that really doesn't mean anything. You got the most points in the league. Congrats. We have a thing called playoffs, fellas. Other than that, I really liked what I saw from the team last night. It's like, they gave up a goal and they didn't let it hurt them. And last night was fun. It was really fun, and I'm just glad that I'm able to experience the good times as they happen with this club. Because the good times don't last forever. But hey, we just got to keep on fucking trucking, man. And the more we can hold on to key players and hold on to Wilfred Nancy, we're going to see players want to come to Columbus and have success. I mean, Cucho Hernandez is a success story in himself. Was doing nothing in Europe. He was pretty much a side piece or a forgotten about in Walford. Then the crew spent $10 million on him in June of 2022 to bring him over. And in the 2 years that he's been here, he's been absolutely a tear. Like Jim Kern said, he's a fucking killer. I hope we extend him. He seems to love the city and the fan base. I honestly see, depending on if he stays with us the rest of his career, I see Cucho being future captain material once Darlington Nagbe decides to retire. But with all that being said, I've rambled for about 21 minutes now. If you like this video, hit the like button. If you want more Columbus Crew focused content, this weekend I plan on being live, hopefully for a 7:30 EFL game. Then that will lead into the 10 o'clock Wrexham game, and then a couple hours after Wrexham, that will lead into the 3:30 Ohio State Akron game, and hopefully that will lead into the 7:30 Crew NYCFC game. Taking the week off, so no live stream for the Philly match, but hopefully, if all goes according to plan, I can get at least 3 or 4 live streams out and done for you guys this Saturday and Sunday. And then after Labor Day, I got to go back to work. So yeah, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. If you enjoy the content, I will be back this weekend, hopefully. And like, as always, as the old song goes, wise men say, only fools rush in. Peace out, everyone.